Welcome to PsychicBent. My name is Carrie.
And I'm Kim. We are two sisters wanting to help other psychics learn and grow in their abilities and to help educate about spirits, angels, and everything psychic.
Welcome back, listeners, as we continue with our episodes on psychic healers and healers. And today, this episode is going to be on traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. And we're going to just throw that right over to Kim.
Yeah, and I do have some disclaimers ahead of time before we begin. It'll go left-brained through parts of this, probably most of this, and sorry about that, and hope I don't put you all to sleep. And also, this one requires a lot of formal education to become an actual practitioner. You are, in a lot of these areas, you are functioning as a physician type position. So there is, I would imagine there's a lot of expense involved in becoming a licensed practitioner in traditional Chinese medicine. It goes very, very in depth in medicine and such.
Well,
So
I think a lot of our listeners may just want to participate and utilize, a bit like being a patient
oh yeah,
for Chinese medicine.
yeah, I would agree with that. But I just wanted to throw that out there. This isn't one that you can just, research online and get a certificate for. Not that that's not hard work, but that could be. But this one, if this one really strikes you as something that you did want to try to become a practitioner in, it is a higher education, formal education involved in this one. So, but yeah, I was personally rather surprised at which, you know, it's one of those things where if you really thought about it, you would understand it, but I didn't realize what was involved in some of the modalities of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM as it's abbreviated, because I was really surprised and went, oh, well, that really makes sense that this is where this comes from. Didn't even realize it. And I also want to apologize if I mispronounce things in this one, because I am just an English speaker, and sometimes I try to think that I do know how to pronounce some names, and I don't. So, just putting that out there. So anyway, what exactly is traditional Chinese medicine? Well, it is actually a holistic approach to treating a person's mental and physical health problems. That's what it is. It was developed thousands of years ago, and its core practices have changed a little since then, to over time. That's just natural in development, that things would change a bit, adjusting for current times and such from thousands of years ago. This theory or medicine, it's based on the theory that sickness stems from an imbalance in a person's life force energy, or what we've already been talking about since the beginning of the podcast is your chi. And the goal of TCM is to restore harmony within an individual and balance the forces of yin and yang. And those are components of chi.
That makes sense because, when you think about the life force and, the chi, and with the same things with your chakras,
Mm-hmm.
Where you have an imbalance in one of your chakras, it affects your health wise as well.
Right.
Yeah, so it makes sense that if you have an imbalance in your chi, that you would respond better to a holistic approach.
Exactly. Exactly. So, with traditional Chinese medicine, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and just keep calling it TCM. I may throw it back out there so we remember what it is we're talking about. But with the TCM, there are 8 principles within TCM. The principles are a set of diagnostic categories that the practitioner can use to classify patterns of disharmony or imbalance in the body. Traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, it's a holistic system focusing on balancing the opposing forces of yin and yang and harmonizing vital energy, which is the qi, to maintain health and prevent disease. It relies on the principles like the 5 elements, meridians in the body, and the 8 principles to diagnose and treat, aiming to restore that harmony and balance between your body and nature. Now, the yin and yang theory represents opposites yet complementary forces, such as cold and hot, passive and active, or non-active and active, um, and that health is a state of equilibrium while illness is an imbalance between the forces. So your health is the yin part of it, and your illnesses is the imbalance part of it, or the yang part of it. Now, the chi energy, that is the vital energy flowing through our body. We've talked about that before. It flows along pathways called meridians throughout your body. And if you have studied anything on maps, there's meridians and such running through your maps and such. Well, that's the same thing in our body, similar to the ley lines that we've talked about before in another episode. The vital energy flowing through the body along these pathways is called meridians, and proper unblocked flow is crucial for health according to this practice. So that means that if you've got blocks in your chakras, like we've talked about, like Carrie mentioned, that is going to prevent your energy throughout your body, your chi, to flow correctly through the different pathways that it needs to go to have your body in balance. Then there are the 5 elements theory, and that is everything is connected to each other. Everything is interconnected. That includes your organs, and it's using 5 different categories of wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. That's the 5 elements theory. Another part are the 8 principles. Some of those include the exterior and interior, that's your yin and your yang as well. It's the location of the ailment, whether it's externally, like on the outside of your body, versus the internal. The hot cold, it's the nature of an element. Are you cold inside? Are you hot outside? Things like that. There are other techniques. I'm not going to go too much further into that they go by, but you have your holistic side of it and everything. So the TCM practitioners are really focusing on treating the whole body, not just focusing on, as Western medicine is, focusing on treating the symptoms and that one thing that you are experiencing as a problem, because that's how modern or Western medicine works. Is you come in with a headache, well, they're going to start focusing on your head. Okay, what's wrong with your head? What are you experiencing there? Is it sinus related? Is it just allergy related? Is it blood flow problems? They're just focusing on that. They're not focusing on the whole body. Well, what could be? It could be something that is happening in your lower abdomen that is causing problems up in, forcing you to have pressure building up in your head, or whatever it is. I'm not a medical person, but that's how I understand the practice to be, is that they focus on the whole body to make certain that everything is flowing. Because if you have a problem in your foot, that problem may be coming from your heart. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. It's like if you ever, I don't know if you've ever done squeeze the pressure points on your hands, like the between your thumb and the knuckle of your first finger.
Mm-hmm.
You push right there, and that just relieves tension. It's just like, so it makes sense. You could have something out of sorts here, which is actually caused by something else.
Right.
So it makes a lot of sense that your body, I mean, because your body has all sorts of nerves and muscles and tissues and everything going through it, and you've got lots of organs. So it's quite possible one thing is manifesting in a different way in your body.
Exactly, exactly. So with Western medicine, they're going to try to treat, they usually try to treat just what you are experiencing at that time and not really taking a look at the whole body. Now, this doesn't mean stop seeing your regular doctor or anything like that. We're not talking about anything like that. We're just explaining how the traditional Chinese medicine, how that works for you and your body. And a lot of times they work together, meaning the TCM can work with your regular practitioner modes of treatment work together to make it so that your whole body is getting treated for whatever condition that you may be experiencing.
Well, yeah, because like an example would be if you are undergoing, cancer treatment,
Hmm.
and acupuncture, which is a modality of the TCM, helps relieve side effects from chemotherapy. So you can see how they work together.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, because with the, like Carrie's mentioning, like with the acupuncture itself, that was the one that I was surprised. I shouldn't have been, but I was surprised that that's where this came from. For some reason, I didn't think it was traditional Chinese medicine. I thought it came from somewhere, originated somewhere else, not in this practice. So I was really surprised when I saw it there. And this is one that I thought, man, I don't know if I could do this one because of all the little needles, and I just panic whenever I think of needles. But
Well, I can give you an example. I've got an acupressure mat. So it doesn't have tiny little needles, but when you lay on it, it does the same sensation of activating your body to send pain, pain relief. Because that's what acupuncture does. I know you're going to get into acupuncture,
mhm, mhm,
more thoroughly, but it just kind of your mind starts sending out to help deal with the pain,
right,
and your muscles really just start to relax and everything. It's kind of funny because our brother-in-law, he doesn't always want to believe him, the stuff that I do. But he's like, by making ginger tea when you're sick, and different things like that. And he was visiting and with my sister, Julie, and he hurt his back, and I'm like, hey, you're gonna need this. Lay on it. And he's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And he the entire time he was visiting, he's like, can I just keep this in the bedroom? I'm like, yeah. It's like, because it did work. So if you can't tolerate needles, then I think an acupressure mat would be the way to go.
right.
But the thing with the needles is they're strategically placed, and they're very, very tiny. And if you had your eyes closed, you might be okay with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Because it is the insertion of like thin, sterile, disposable metal needles into your skin, and it relieves different symptoms, but they're very, very small and thin, like Carrie. Well, they're thin. I shouldn't say they're small. I don't know how small they really
Yeah,
are.
they're
Well, yeah,
long.
they're long is what
Yeah,
I
they're
thought, so you
long,
could grab
but
them,
they're yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But
yeah, they're thin,
yeah,
and they got to be able to take them out.
yeah.
So
But they are strategically placed at different meridians and points where, and this is where the learning, the education comes in, because you learn exactly where to place the different needles for different things, for different relief for different things. Like you said, it could help with the relief of arthritis pain, back pain, migraines, knee pain. It could help with your mood and your mind, like help relieve stress or anxiety, depression. It's really interesting because people that have had this done, they have such an experience with it. It's not just the psychosomatic thing where it's just in your head or a pseudo thing. They actually feel relief, or well, relief from whatever it is that they are experiencing. And that's the reason why they're there, is so
yeah,
that they can have relief from whatever it is that they are having issues with. So I found this one to be really interesting.
I think it's interesting is where what parts of the body they actually insert the needles.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because like it's your ears, your scalp, your face, hands, nose, and wrists and ankles.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure about having needles in my nose, but but the proven play areas that you get benefit from.
Right. Right. And its all purpose is to help with the flow of the chi in your body to get it all imbalanced again. If you don't want to believe in the chi aspect of it, it is to help with with the flow of things throughout your body. Whether it's the nerves, whatever, the nerve endings or whatever, it does help to relieve the pressures of what it is you are experiencing. So that one, I just didn't know that one was associated with the TCM.
Yes. And and there's different additional treatments with acupuncture, like the electro acupuncture, where the needles are wired to deliver low level electrical current,
Mm-hmm.
or the moxibustion, which I'm sure I just said that totally wrong, is where they burn certain herbs close to targeted acupuncture points, adding heat for to added benefit, or the cupping. And you've heard of the cupping, where they take a special heated cup and pull it over points of tension on your body, and this creates suction and it increases the blood flow. It does leave marks, when they're done, but it's supposed to, it just creates suction, increasing blood flow, and help to relieve tension. So that's
That one was interesting to me because I didn't know how it really worked. What it was that they did to make it work. And okay, so how they do the cupping is that they use a heated glass jar to create the suction. When they put it onto your skin, with that jar being heated, it causes your skin to suck up into that jar. So that is causing, that's meant to stimulate the blood flow and release any tension that you have in that area. And athletes use this to help relieve pain and things that happen during their sports. It's been tested by athletes to really be effective on your body for aches and pains and such. So it creates a suction effect against your skin, which breaks open tiny blood vessels beneath the surface, and then your body replenishes blood to the cupped area to prompt for that healing to a healing response to happen. It activates that to make the blood flow better to that area, which speeds up recovery, which speeds up the healing. Which I thought that was it was, I guess you're getting a cup hickey or something like that,
yeah. It looks like it, yeah,
Yeah,
because it leaves a
it
mark.
does.
And if they've done it in all these areas, well, it's gonna be there for a little
It's gonna
while.
be there for a little bit, yep. but it,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
helps with like back, knee, neck, shoulder pain. This one surprised me is that it has it helps with breathing problems like asthma. And I was like, well, that's so interesting that they're using that to help with asthma. I never would have thought of that. So anyway,
Yeah.
just surprised me.
Or infertility.
Yeah, yeah, different things. So another practice with it, besides the cupping and the acupuncture, is the Chinese herbal medicine, which is herbal therapy. And this, of course, has been around forever. We're always talking about, Carrie's always talking about the ginseng tea for, like you said, when you're not feeling well and such. But,
Ginger
or
tea.
ginger tea, ginseng.
I'm like,
Ginger, not ginseng.
where are you getting your ginseng from?
I don't know. Maybe I want some ginseng. I don't know.
I don't know.
But depending on the specific health needs that you have, these trained herbalists, they can customize any type of herbal blend that you could take in the form of capsules or the liquid tinctures and formulas. So they could just mix something up for you that you need for your own personal issue that you're having and be able to help you with that. And these are commonly used for allergies, autoimmune disease, digestive issues, and like you said about anything else, infertility, menopause, menstrual and endometriosis pain. So these herbal technicians are trained in herbal science or whatever we want to call it. That is what they do. They are the ones that, lack of a better word, recipes. They know of the medical benefits of all of the herbs, and they're able to personalize that type of treatment for you to help you. Now, whenever you do begin that type of therapy, that is important to know that your medical practitioner also needs to know, so that you two aren't having conflicting medication and herbal interactions, because they could end up canceling each other out and not helping you with your problem, if that makes sense.
You should always tell your physician any supplements you take.
Right. Whether they're herbal or
I mean,
regular,
yeah,
just,
right.
yeah, definitely.
Yes. Now, I do caution though, make sure you go with a reputable herbal business, because you don't want excess metals in the product or filler type things. You want to make sure, you want to make sure it's a reputable business with good reviews.
Right, right. Exactly. Another practice within it is the Qigong, which translates to work with Qi. So, this and Tai Chi are both practices that use simple poses and breathing patterns and slow moving motions. And the purpose of these are to allow you to focus on your breathing, your movement, and meditation and mindfulness to help the energy flow throughout your body, and breathing in the good energy, expelling the bad energy, washing it away, moving it away, shoving it out of your body, bringing in good. Those two are technically like martial arts practices or something along those lines that is worked into the traditional Chinese medicine, because as you are bringing in the good energy throughout your body, it is allowing you to push the other out, and you become more stable in your movements, more balanced. You're able to do, your mobility is increased, and they're very, very effective in increasing your positive thoughts and emotions and feelings, and just overall good physical health. So, those are also part of Tai Chi. Those are also parts of the traditional Chinese medicine, and also the Tai Chi is very good for relieving fibromyalgia pain, and, like I said, removing the depression that you could be experiencing. It helps to alleviate that. So, those are the different types of practices that I found with the traditional Chinese medicine. Did you have anything else that you wanted to cover as far as the different practices in it before we move on to a different part?
No, no,
No?
let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Okay, so then the next thing that I wanted to do with talking about how the traditional Chinese medicine can help is I wanted to also go to the psychic development side of it. And I was questioning how can this, besides the energy flow with the chi and everything, how could this really help us with our psychic development? And I found that with the TCM, it does heighten our intuition by calming our mind, and then we're balancing that energy, and then we are unblocking all the meridians to remove any emotional and spiritual stagnation, because we all experience that. There's times whenever, I just get up in the morning and I feel, oh, it's just another day. Oh my gosh, things like that. Do I have to really get up out of bed? And you just feel, oh, well,
And hey, and you don't even and you don't have to go to work.
I don't have to.
I do.
Exactly, exactly. But but the practices of the TCM will help relieve that, can help you get to feeling better and more energized, and feel good about the starts of your day. And that's by using the Qigong. And we've already talked about meditation, because that's all part of the mindful part, the mind part, the healthy mental part of the traditional Chinese medicine. Acupuncture, your herbs, they help to align us like we've talked about, and that enhances your inner vision and gives you so much mental clarity, which allows you to focus on your psychic abilities or helps to open up those psychic abilities. Um, yes, Ranger?
He was very adamant there,
Yes,
wasn't he?
he
Meow.
was. Okay, so with the Qigong and Tai Chi, these practices, they cultivate the life forces we talked about. It improves the energy flow throughout the entire body, and this heightens sensitivity. And in return, that helps with our spiritual connection, our connection to spirit. And then through the meditation and sitting quietly, that helps us to calm ourselves, which is to calm our spirit and nourish the, as the TCM says, nourish the Hun, which is our ethereal soul. And that fosters our intuition and creativity. And it also increases our prophetic dreams, which Carrie's getting on up into my dream category, I've heard. So
It was a doozy.
it
It was
was,
Kim proportion.
yep, it had segments of Kim dreams in it. So
Yes.
so there's herbs are out there to calm our spirit or the spirit. And I'm not going to go over what the different ones are, but by using some of them, it supports you to have a calm mind and enhance our spiritual vitality. Others can help us increase those vivid and prophetic dreams. And there are some out there that often are used in divination to actually boost our psychic powers and abilities. And as you talked about this, the when we talked about the acupuncture and acupressure and the balancing of the five spirits, those stimulating points, such as what is called yin tang, I believe, it's between the eyebrows, which is the third eye spot, and that can clear that brain fog and improve mental focus, which allows us to communicate with spirit or open ourselves up to spirit through the third eye. And TCM focuses on strengthening our vision or our Hun and balancing the Yi, which is intellect, to ensure that clear thoughts and intuitive insight happens. So by practicing the TCM, that is actually opening up, helping you to open up your third eye, helping you listen to what is being shown and said to you through your dreams, through communication, through spirit. So I thought this was really, really interesting as far as how traditional Chinese medicine can help you with your psychic abilities and psychic development, because it's all flowing with that energy, and you're learning through this practice on how to focus on what parts of your body might need to, have a little extra help and a little extra self-care and such, to communicate with spirits and open yourself up to the messages that you could be receiving, whether they are through dream or through intuition or images, whatever it is that however you're receiving your message. It helps you to clear a pathway to spirit and the angels so that you are listening to what's coming to you and you can fulfill your life's choice.
Well, I think it's going to raise your vibration because it's going to make it. You're going to feel better. Your vibration's going to go up,
Yes,
and with your vibration up, you're going to communicate more.
right.
And it's going to heighten. That's one way of heightening your abilities.
Exactly. And if you are experiencing pain and aches and things like that, problems, whether you're depressed or anything like that, that is, like you said, lowering your vibration, but you're not going to be open to really allowing yourself the freedom to communicate with spirit, because you are focused on the discomforts of your body and mind, and you need to treat those or you will not be able to truly focus on your reason for being here. So, anyway, the final parts with the TCM that I wanted to also talk about was they do focus on a dietary therapy as well. What you put in is what you get out. So if you're not putting in healthy, good things for you, or if you're putting in things that are, highly overprocessed and stuff like that, that's really going to throw your energy flow out in your body as well. You're not going to, you know, you need to have the more natural, healthy things in there to get healthy actions out, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I know it's a little.
Garbage in, garbage
That's
out.
right, that's it. Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
But I did find that with the traditional Chinese medicine, it is a practice that focuses on the whole you. It's not just internal. It's your whole being. And I was moved by that, I was really surprised. There was one practice that they had that I can't remember the name of, and I didn't have it in flagged in my research. But I was like, wasn't sure what it was. And whenever I looked at it, a video on it, it was really an interesting practice because, everybody goes in for their body massages and stuff like that. You'll never get me in to do one. But this one was a little bit different because it was, they were fully clothed. There was, none of the where you have to go in and they have to do the skin to skin. The skin to skin contact was not required. But it's more or less the pressure points. He was actually manipulating the pressure points along the shoulder and the back and certain parts of the arm and on the neck. And it was just specific movements and pressure points. And I thought, oh, that could really be effective because as you were talking about earlier in this episode about putting the pressure point on your hand to stop migraines or whatever, that's what he was talking about and how if he put pressure in this spot in your neck, this could relieve this. And I was like, that is fascinating. I might be able to experience that one because you know what I mean? I'm just a very private person. you know, People don't touch my
Well,
feet or nothing.
when you're having a massage, you are covered. They just uncover the certain, like when they're going to massage your leg, they uncover your leg, but you're still,
Mm-hmm.
covered.
Yes. Yes, I know. I
So
know.
it's okay. I'm just, pointing that out.
Yes.
Usually the towel's really nice and warm.
Okay.
It's like the blanket.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I'd be able to do that. Just like I don't think I could do acupuncture.
Yeah.
But this,
You can't even do a
I
pedicure.
can't do a pedicure neither.
Yeah, like you can't even do the pedicure. So
But this one got me thinking, I think I could do that. I think I could do that because of just how, just messing with the pressure points because there's times whenever you get a really stiff neck or stiff right at your shoulder blades, not shoulder blades, but up at the top of your shoulders at the back of your neck, where you just push on it and you just kind of move it around and then you release the pressure. It's the same thing. And I thought, I could do that one. But I didn't know that was part of traditional Chinese medicine either. But I thought that is something that I think I could actually try if I needed to help relieve any pressure points that I was having problems with. So there's something in this category, this healing process of the traditional Chinese medicine that I think could benefit everybody because there's so much involved.
yeah.
It was really, really, really interesting to research. I really went left brained on it and thought, no, I can't go that far. But it is.
Carrie's gonna make fun of you.
Carrie, yeah, she's gonna make fun of me on that one. I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't go that far. But it is requiring a master's degree type education. There's a lot of hours involved in becoming a fully trained traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. Now, acupuncture, like you can get a master's degree in acupuncture and oriental medicine and just different types of training out there. So, and there's clinical internships. So this, like I said, this is a really, if you wanted to actually pursue that as a career, it's going to be a lot of time dedicated to it. But if you want to go,
But we're not really promoting people to do these.
no, 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 no.
I
I'm just
mean,
saying some people might be, oh, that's something I might be interested in doing. I'm just want to give that information out there too.
okay.
Anyway.
Because that's not, we're not doing this healing series to try to get people to sign up and start practicing it. It's kind of just because it's things that, you might need that type of, treatment that you didn't realize.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, just like as developing your psychic abilities, we're not saying you have to go out and become a psychic or a medium. We're giving these are
Hmm.
things that it could. Same thing with these different healings, because some people may want to go farther than just. They may want to give back to their communities in a way that could also be drawn to these types of
Well,
practices. So I don't know.
they have to walk that walk
Yeah.
before they can, you know. So it's I definitely want to try these different types of healing before you consider wanting maybe to learn it. You know?
But yeah, yeah. No, I'm not
Yeah.
saying anybody. I just didn't want someone to go, oh, well, I'm going to go try that right now. And it's like, no, you need.
Well, I think I mean because you have to have there's sanitation standards. There's if you're not a licensed practitioner in acupuncture, you can cause some damage to people.
Hmm. Right.
So you do need to research, who you're going to go to. You know, I just don't want everybody to think that we're pushing you to go to school and all of a sudden we're just really wanting to help you with your psychic abilities and be healthy and happy. You know.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not trying to push anybody into doing it. I just was letting someone know.
Okay.
So, anyway, that's all I thought could cover on this without it becoming too overwhelming, because it was becoming overwhelming to me researching it because there was so much information out there. And it,
Now this is what I think is funny. I was trying to research it and was not getting a lot of information on it. Kim was trying to research it and she's getting all this stuff, and I'm just like, good thing it's your episode because I don't, I mean, I had to individually look up like acupuncture. Every time I kept trying to do traditional Chinese medicine, I kept getting supplements websites, and I'm like, no, so it really wasn't one for me, evidently, because I was having trouble finding the information. So, well, hopefully, everybody, we got disconnected again. It's happened twice now in a row of recording, but Kim's going to post links to the information that she found because I was having difficulty finding it myself. So Kim will hook you up. The links will be on the podcast, right, Kim?
yeah, it'll be in the notes part of the podcast on the various platforms that you listen to. You'll find the links to them in there.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you, listeners, for tuning in, and hopefully you found this very enlightening and educational. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. May your light shine bright. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Psychic Bent. If you enjoyed Psychic Bent, please like, follow, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to Psychic Bent. We can be reached on Facebook at Psychic Bent Podcast. Our email address is psychicbent1@gmail.com. May your light shine bright.